have conversations. I am passionate. If you aren't half as passionate as me, guess what, baby boo? Someone's gonna beat you. Because there will always be somebody who is more talented. There will always be somebody who's cuter and richer and younger and funnier and wittier, but they ain't you. Are you ready to build a brand? Seth Godin describes a brand as a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. Did Seth Godin say that your website is your brand? No. Your business cards? No. Your social platform? No. What did he say? You can't buy your brand. It doesn't cost money. What did he say? Expectations, stories, experiences. So then my question comes to you. What are you doing online to create experiences to foster a brand? Because if you keep on pouring money into something that isn't working, it won't work. So what can we boil it all down to? A brand is not defined by a business, but by the consumer's perception of the business. I once heard somebody say that your brand can be described as what somebody says about your business when you walk out of the room. So while it might not cost you pennies, it is worth millions. So today I'm going to talk about how I built my brand. I hope you guys thought in your mind, I don't care. I don't care how you built your brand. I want to know what you can do for me. If you thought that, we're on the same page. I am not here as a dog and pony show. I am here because I do. And people in this room should walk out and immediately have at least 3 things to do to change how your brand shows up online. So how do you build a brand? You must create content. That's it. If I drop the mic, which I won't because Braden spent hours setting this thing up, you can walk in your car and know I can build a brand if I can create content. Well, what does that really look like? I'm gonna take you on a social media journey so that you can take little tiny bits and pieces to say, I can do that today. My goal is 3 things today, 3 things tomorrow, 3 things the next day, and guess what? They can all be repeatable and it's all for a brand. Let's dive into that. In 2006, I started a blog. Why? It was free. Couldn't afford a website. Social media wasn't around. Nobody was hiring me. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna start a blog because I think I am destined to fail. So this blog is going to be proof that I put myself out there and it didn't work. So what does one do with no money, no education, no connections, and wants to start a business who has a camera, no lenses, no CF cards? Because I can't afford it, I will rent those. True story. February 6th, 2006. So here begins an online journal of where I'm headed. I need to document the detours and the pit stops along this mangled and gnarled photographic path. I'm writing to never forget the humble beginnings of my great future and celebrate my mistakes. I've always maintained that making a mistake sooner rather than later is always a good thing. If you are here in the perpetual state of February 6, 2006, stop being afraid of the mistakes. The thing that I could look back on and say that it wasn't magnified by the pressure of social media to always get it right. So what would it look like for you today? Say, come on, mistakes. The more I make and the faster I make them, the sooner I get to where I want to go. Crazy thing about blogging that I didn't know when I was doing that then is because I didn't have a business and because I didn't have customers, I still wanted to show up on a blog, so I would write about what I was doing. And photographers at the time would be like, bless your heart, nobody cares about your life. And I'm like, I know, but you ain't got business and I got time, so here I go, here I go, here I go again. What's my weakness? Instagram. No, Instagram. No, I'm married. What are you talking about? So I blog randomly about a date I went on with my husband. I talk about how we were in Hollywood, we spent some time in Koreatown, looking at the cool hairstyles, and wouldn't you know that a girl sitting in her job typed in Hollywood Korean hairstyles and comes across this blog of a girl she knows nothing about and sees a few random photos. And she is getting married at Yamashiro in Hollywood, and she's Korean, and she was looking for hairstyles. Book that wedding. Because I was good? No. Because I put out content enough for her to get to know me and make an emotional decision about emotional purchase? Yes. Tip number 1 of 3, create searchable content. When we talk about creating content, make sure it could be found by random strangers sitting in their cubicles at work. I learned the art of engagement when I stopped caring about my life and started asking people about theirs. The girl in 2008 who couldn't get a single person to respond to a post or like a comment, one by one, developed a following on Facebook of 245,000, on Twitter, same thing, over 100,000. Not because I'm cute, funny, or witty. A lot of you look at my content in the room and is like, her? Really? What is she doing? Talking, DMing, responding. What do you need? How can I show up? You got it. Okay, yes. Shonda Rhimes had this year of yes, and I looked at her and I said, my whole life has been my life of no. What would it look like for me to stop saying no to my dreams, yes to where I want to go, and yes, how can I get to where you want to go? How can my business serve you? So this leads us to branding tip number 2, create personal connections. All I did every day was, how did I make somebody feel? That was it. You can do that. How did my Instagram post make somebody feel today? How did my Facebook post? How did that YouTube video make somebody feel? Because if day after day you say, I think they feel like I'm selling them, you are. If you can say they felt happy, they felt empowered, they felt educated, they felt fulfilled, they felt like there was aspiration, they felt hopeful, my friends, you're building a brand. In 2010, this is a quick iteration of what is happening with my brand and what I'm leveraging. In 2010, I started understanding the value of education. You want to build a brand? Educate. I saw this thing called YouTube and I was like, sure, why not? Turn on a camera, have no lights, no mic, no teleprompter, no idea what I'm doing. And you wanna know what? Press record. Today we're gonna be talking about, what do I think my customers wanna know? It was ridiculous. They're a hot mess. They're overexposed. They're muffled. And guess what? When I first posted them, 100 views, 50 views. The same videos today have 26 to 35,000 views on these terrible videos, which is why when people come to my YouTube channel now with 55,000 followers, they're like, you must have bought these followers because you only get like 1,000 views. No, baby boo. That's how YouTube works. It's called a search engine. I create content where people can search in 2 or 3 years and have my stuff appear at the top of the feed. That's what I do. Are they the best? They don't have to be. Do I show up? Yes. Do I put myself in the shoes of my customer who's looking for an answer? Yes. Can you do the same? Yes. Open up your laptop. Speak your truth. Give, give, give. There is somebody who wants to know the thing that you know. Share that. So branding tip number 3 is to share educational content. Now, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna bring this up to present day. 2015, we're also gonna move into Q&A because Q&A is like our jam. This is where we get granular. 2013 is I wanted to understand the value of platform synergy. All of a sudden, Instagram comes out and I'm like, what is this crazy new thing? Well, this is my Instagram. A late breakfast in Laguna. 12 likes, no comments. Rinse and repeat, life in Laguna Beach. 34 likes and no comments. And then I wonder, this platform sucks. Nobody's talking back. Well, look at what I was posting in 2014. By the looks of it, I like wine and I like friends. It's like brunch life. Oh, look at again, more brunch life. 2014 is the pinnacle of my career. I'm getting paid top dollar. I'm an internationally recognized, award-winning photographer, and this is my Instagram feed. I was on Instagram. I wasn't using Instagram. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of other people building their business. When I finally put a stake in the ground, I was like, stop giving yourself excuses. Figure out how to make this work. You did it before, you'll do it again. You don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the most popular, you just have to serve your people. So then I thought in 2016, how can I combine everything I know about building a brand on social media and extend it to Instagram? So here's the punchline. From blogging, I learned how to create experiences. From Facebook, I learned the one-to-one conversations. From YouTube, I learned sharing education. Now, the challenge for me and the challenge for you is how consistent will you be? The winner is the one who shows up again and again and again. It is not the person who removes a post because it didn't get a lot of likes. It is not the person who spends 2 hours debating over writing a caption and then closing it anyway because I'm just not feeling it today. I took everything I learned, and that's the thing I'm passing on to you today. Are you willing to rinse and repeat? Are you willing to show up every day when you have a mediocre photo? Are you willing to show up and go live on Instagram knowing ain't nobody gonna show up? I am. Why? I want it. Do you? I've given you every tool. It doesn't cost you money. It comes with time, ego, and pride. I'm gonna tell you that when I put a stake in the ground and decided to make changes, it opened the doors for me to be featured on USA Today. Not because I had a big following, but because all I did was share everything I knew about the platform I was talking on, which later opened the doors for me to be featured on Forbes, which later opened the doors for me to be featured on MSNBC. I am not the best. I just show up. That should be the thing you walk away from. That's the only thing I want. Because a brand extension is taking down everything. Photos, videos, IG Live, IG Stories, IGTV. Everything you have is on the fingertips. Nobody's expecting it to be good. They're expecting you to show up and give them something, which is something you can do. So, people here, but Jasmine, it's too late on Instagram. It's the algorithm on Facebook. Who's gonna see me on YouTube? Start now, because the next social platform in 12 to 24 months is where you're gonna come in like a gangster. But don't sit here and tell me, I'm gonna wait till the time is right. Great, so while you're waiting, other people are growing and making money. I am not incentivized to share with you everything I know because there would be more cake for me. Guess what? I'm gluten-free. I don't like cake anyway. I want to share everything I know. So let's tie it all together before we get into Q&A. The way the Q&A is going to work out, you're going to yell it like we're in church. I'm going to repeat it back on the mic so that we have the audio on video. Okay. Our objective, build a brand. That's it. We will create experiences. We will create content. We will create authentic connections. We will share education, and we will remain consistent by being undaunted and dedicated and understanding it ain't about me. It's about the people who I'm serving. I serve them well, I'm doing the thing I want to do. Because building a brand is how you succeed despite the odds stacked against you. That's it. I'm here to tell you, you're not the cutest, you're not the smartest, you're not the wittiest, you're not the strongest, you're not the most creative, you're not the most profound. You are you, and that, when you show up every day, is building a brand. Will you give yourself the permission to build a brand? Friends, we're getting into Q&A. Let's do this thing. Okay.